You're inside the Taylor Tilton Hour. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Taylor Tilton Show, streaming live every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central on YouTube and Facebook with replays on Spotify and Google. Then enjoy the Taylor Tilton Hour on Comcast channels throughout the Southeast. For more information about the host of the show, visit ChristieTaylorConsulting.com.
Welcome to the Christie Taylor Show. I'm your host, Christie Taylor. Super excited to have you here today. And we're going to be speaking to a young lady from Atlanta about your profitable passion. She is a digital marketing strategist, somebody I need in my life. And I'm going to make sure we ask all the right questions. Let me tell you more about Janelle Jones. She didn't make it down the aisle, but she did make it to 14 different countries. Now, after being in a 2-year toxic relationship that started with butterflies and ended with a broken heart, maxed out cards, and a totaled car, Janelle decided to love herself more than she loved her ex. She packed a bag and prepared to take the world by storm. Now, while on a business retreat in Bali, Janelle strategized with strangers to create Hustling Hotties, a platform dedicated to finding side hustle solutions for single moms. Now, the platform helps to navigate life, sets them up to not settle for less, shows them how to travel the world, and prepares them to go from breakdown to breakthrough. Now, once she made $10,000 in 14 days, she felt compelled to extend her efforts to entrepreneurs. Now, Janelle holds a master's in digital marketing from Full Sail University, which has aided in her ability and formula to successfully help entrepreneurs through her agency, Janelle and Co, for marketing strategy and consulting. Super excited to have her here today. Welcome to the Christie Taylor Show, Janelle.
Thank you so much for having me, Christie. I'm excited.
You know, reading your bio and just kind of perusing your social, your website, it feels like you need to be in my inner circle. I mean, you are such a amazing young lady. And I would love, first of all, where are you from and what led you on this path?
So I am first generation American. I was born in New York and raised in Atlanta for half my life. So I say I'm half an apple, half a peach. And I think this was just in me. I got sick when I was turned 18, 19, 20. I started a job, did what they told me to do, and I got deathly sick. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me and figured out it was stress. I quit my job and started a business, and I never looked back. The business was much less stress than working a full 9-to-5 job.
You know, that's a mouthful because for some people, working for themselves, working those 18, 20-hour a day is more stressful because there is the uncertainty. But for you, it was the opposite. So what did you come into the entrepreneurial space with? What were your skill sets? What were your focus at the time?
So I'm a born educator. So my mother's a teacher. She's been a teacher for over 25 years. And so she started with me tutoring. She was like, hey, I have some students that need to be tutored. She's not able to tutor her students because they're her students. So she gave me the referral and I just started a tutoring agency. I ended up, by the time I closed my tutoring agency, I had 5 tutors working for me and we made over 6 figures.
Wow. Okay. So this is as early as your 20s. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think I was 22 when I started the agency, and I stopped the agency when I had my son. So about 26 when I started that trip, I was still tutoring.
Wow. Okay. Now I know part of your story is about ending a toxic love relationship. Can you give me some insight into your journey to self-love and the path that has also led to you hustling hotties? That sounds very exciting.
Yeah, definitely. So I was dating this guy and he was infatuated with me. We were infatuated with each other, young love. But he wanted things that I didn't want yet. And so he decided to go on a different path while he still wanted to have me at the same time. And he would not let the relationship go when I decided to end it. So I had to leave the country, like literally just left the country, packed a bag, and started a trip around the world. I started with visiting my grandmother in Jamaica, and then I went to Guatemala to study Spanish. And then a friend said, let's go to a retreat in Bali. And I got on a plane and I flew around the world, literally. And that retreat in Bali, I started talking to these different women that were there, and they were saying, you're hustling hotties. You're a hottie that is hustling. You have side hustles. You have a million of them. And that was how I was living. And I didn't realize it, that I had so many different side hustles. I thought this was normal, right? so I started a brand, women empowerment, helping women to start side hustles, because I feel like a lot of women are missing that gap. They're like, if I just had a little extra money, then I could do this. I could pay off my credit cards. I could travel the world. I could put my kids in private school. Well, having a side hustle allows for that.
Now, you told me that your mom was a school teacher and she inspired you really to start your first business by through tutoring. Yes. What type of education beyond your mom's inspiration helps you understand business? Because a lot of us can be hustling, but we're not scaling businesses to six figures. So give me some tea on that. Drop some gems, Janelle.
I really don't know. I started at 18 looking for an internship with an event planning company. I had 2 internships. I didn't have a car. And if you know Atlanta, you need a car. So I was out here figuring it out, right? So I went and got an associate's degree in marketing and small business administration. Then I got a bachelor's in sociology. And then recently I decided that I needed a master's degree in marketing. I was doing some VA work and I realized it was more than VA work. I was doing marketing strategy. So I decided to get a master's in marketing.
Okay, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I think the success to your entrepreneurial venture is the fact that you quickly learned the need for marketing. Can we kind of dive into that? Because that leads into you being a digital marketing strategist. Yes. What have you learned? Because you are from a younger generation. Have you noted that maybe the old school way of doing business and the new way of doing business has hindered some of us old schoolers, and it's really causing the younger generation to just go past, that mom and pop to really having the CEO mindset?
I think that the younger generation is jumping on the trend. So as soon as something happens, they're jumping on it. George Floyd happens, or Black Lives Matters, or Me Too movement. They're jumping on the trends. As soon as they happen, they're tweeting about it. They're following the hashtags. They're doing things. They're selling things, selling t-shirts, whatever it may be. They're jumping on the trends. I've realized that the older generation loves to do old school marketing. They're going to networking events. They're having business cards. They're mailing out postcards, which are still great. They're starting to come back up now. But I love everything digital marketing because, hey, you can basically do it for free or really cheap.
I'm glad you just said that. I have been fortunate this year to start participating in a cohort. And literally in our virtual session today, they were talking about the need to attend these events, to go to networking. But we have yet to discuss the digital marketing aspect in scaling our businesses. So I'm going to make sure in our next class that I share that tidbit. Of one of the things they did say about me is that I am a natural networker, a master networker. I was like, what, me? Because I was definitely someone who was extremely quiet, but in my media career, I guess I created that. So how would you advise someone who is old school, trying to tap into this new school in order to really advance their visibility in the marketplace today?
My personal strategy is Facebook groups. If you're a Facebook lover, I love Facebook groups. So I jump into so many different groups. They have networking events within the Facebook groups where we're able to get on Zoom, talk live. You can also pay to advertise on Facebook groups. It may be $100 a month and you can post 4 times a month. So there's different programs and different activities that you can do within the Facebook group. So that's my biggest little tidbit, because there are people there that are looking for your expertise, and the Facebook groups are really large. So you're able to, to stand out a little bit more.
I didn't know that you could advertise in Facebook groups. Do you have to talk to the administrators? Is that how that goes?
Yeah. So sometimes they sell it to you, and that it's a link. You can say, oh, look, I'm selling this. This is what it's $97. A lot of them are $97. $97 for 4 times a month. Or you can talk to the administrators. I talked to one girl. She charges $10 a post. It's really inexpensive for you to post in the Facebook groups, and it brings you, she has over 20,000 people in that group.
Wow. Okay, so let's dive into this. I do understand that you said that, being in Atlanta, well, being from New York, half apple, being in Atlanta, half peach. You are from two world stage cities. What are some of the things that you've learned between the two that you try to communicate to your clients?
Um, I have a very outgoing personality. I'm very bubbly. So you have to do things that fit your personality, right? So Facebook groups are my repertoire. I love going in and talking to Facebook groups, but that may not be somebody who's very introverted. That may not be their jam. So you've got to figure out what works for you and what you love and stick to it. Be consistent. I'm always harping. Consistency is the key.
Okay, we got TikTok, we have Snapchat, we have Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and a plethora of others. And someone says, "Hey, Twitter is my jam." How can you actually go from, I guess, relationship building to converting in a business utilizing, let's say, Twitter?
Okay, Twitter is a gold mine. People don't realize it. Like, it is really happening over on Twitter. Anytime I jump on there and I look at a tweet, there are jobs on Twitter. People are making connections. They're finding jobs. I've heard so many different people say that they got jobs off of Twitter. Just a tweet can get you a client. A guy I knew, he said, I got this huge client off of Twitter. I forgot who it was, but it was somebody big. And it was just because somebody in their corporate office saw what he was tweeting and they saw that he had a case study. He had posted this case study out. And he said, oh my gosh, we need that service. So he got a client from Twitter.
I like the fact that you said that because Twitter is very conversational. And if you're not a part of the, it's almost like going to a cocktail party. You have to stay engaged with the people in the room. Facebook to me is more like a trade show. I always try to imagine in my mind what these platforms are offline. It's like,
Right.
okay. So, and Facebook can also be like a family reunion, a church meeting. LinkedIn is definitely a business networking. Like everybody wants, where's your business card? But when you said a tweet is very conversational, so that means you have to, as they say, the millennials and Gen X, as Gen Z, they want authenticity, they want transparency. So who's faking the funk the most online?
Right, exactly.
Ooh.
I watched a show the other day called The Circle. If you have time, watch it.
I saw it on Netflix. I said I was going to watch it. Okay. I'm now.
Oh, good. I literally cried.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it was so good. It's a reality show. I'm not into reality shows at all. But this one was so good. It was so genuine at the end of the day. And the person who won had the most genuine relationship with everybody in the circle. And so I just thought about that last week. I watched and I said, that's what this is really about, being who you are authentically and posting who you are. Anytime I post something about my kids, boy, they blow up. Like, those kids. And then somebody messaged me, I'm missing your kids. Where are they? Like, literally, they want the genuine stuff. I posted the other day and I said, I'm retiring.
I saw that post. That was so cute. That was so cute.
And they loved it. Everybody loved it. They love the genuine hot mess mama stuff. They relate to my business because I'm a hot mess mama.
A hot mess mama. Of course, that goes back to the Hustling Hotties. Let's talk back about that platform. Is that still available? And what services does it still provide? I mean, who's a Hustling Hottie?
Right. So I am reviving the Hustling Hotties. We're coming out now with Hustling Hotties University. A lot of people said that Hustling Hotties was a little too vulgar for them, right? They didn't like the brand name because it was a little too vulgar. But I had to realize that person was not a part of my tribe. And they, that was their opinion. They were entitled to it. So I've decided to bring Hustling Hotties back out, and we're having Hustling Hotties University. There are going to be different courses: Hustle to Freedom, Side Hustle 101, the Profitable Passion book will be in there. There's going to be a whole bunch of workbooks. The Podcast to Wealth is going to be in there. So a whole bunch of courses and books in there that you're going to be able to take and grow your side hustle.
I like that. So, of course, you all be sure to check her out on her social, Janelle J Speaks, as well as her website. And let's roll it back to your as regarding profitable passion. Give me some insight into that. So we got the Hustling Hotties, the university is coming. Profitable passion. Explain that concept to me.
Okay, so whatever you're passionate about, right? So I said education is my passion, right? I love education. So I started a tutoring company. Whatever side hustle business that you decide to start should be based around your passion, because if you love
Mhm.
doing it, it's not going to feel like work. So like I said, when I stopped working at the bank, I stopped working my full-time job, it felt like I was just doing my hobby. I was teaching kids, I was going around, I was meeting new people. I was having a great time because I was passionate about it. So when you pick when you pick what you want to make your profits from, make sure it's something that you're passionate about so that you'll want to keep doing it.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Okay, so we're some hustling hotties. We can make our profit off of our passion. And just as a quick case study, let's say that my passion is one thing I actually do have a passion for is gemstones, like rocks, like literally rock collecting. So how can somebody make that a passion? I know about back in the day, the pet rocks, but I'm like today, what would be a way that somebody could possibly turn a passion about rocks into a profitable business?
Okay, so now are there people that are into gemstones like you? I'm sure there's a whole niche group. Is there a community already created? Can you make a create community, and can you charge people for being in that community? Can you make a box, a subscription box that you send out to people that they get the latest, they get gemstones, they get different, a gemstone for January, gemstone for February. You send them a little notice, a little booklet that goes with the gemstone, a little activity that they could get with it. There's so many different things you could do with that passion.
Okay, first of all, y'all, that was totally on the fly, and she done gave y'all some. Okay, she literally was dropping some gems. Okay, subscription box. That's the thing now. Let's talk about that. I actually was watching somebody, and they have a service-based business. Most of it is intellectual property, but now they're incorporating subscription boxes, and I was like, I thought that was only for products. So, can you give us an idea of about subscription boxes?
Yeah, so you definitely could have a subscription box for services. So you could say, okay, I'm going to give you a podcast interview. If I was doing it, okay, for services, podcast interview, I can give you a strategy session. I can give you a little graphic that I've created that you can, a template that I've created. There's all different services. I can put a social media audit. You can put all of your services into a subscription box. And every month, every quarter, they get access to getting that service from you.
Wow, that is so cool. That is so cool. And of course, I know merchandise, promotional merchandise has been a big thing for entrepreneurs. What is your advice when someone says, hey, I really want to dive into, because I know there have to be do's and don'ts, preferred items that you ship or not. What typically is your advice for a client?
Yeah, so you want to check around to your for your regulations, state regulations, federal
Mhm.
regulations, what can be shipped, what can't be shipped. Food typically has to be shipped a certain way. So if you're shipping that, make sure that it's shipped a certain way. Making sure things are trademarked, making sure you have things, covered legally so that when you're sending things out, you're not getting into any trouble at all. You want to make sure that you're completely protected.
Okay, you just I've noted particularly on Instagram, because I do kind of float around Instagram and LinkedIn. Okay, well, let me just be real. Instagram is like my thing.
Okay.
Facebook is where I hang out because most people know me from that from years. I'm starting to show some love to LinkedIn, but I will get into Instagram, particularly on reels and stories. And I'm noting, because it's so heavy when it comes to entrepreneurship, that everybody's talking about the importance of trademarking. When did that become such a big deal? Is it because we are so global now?
I don't even think that it has to do with the globality of things, because I don't necessarily know that a trademark in the United States protects you in other countries, right? So I believe that you have to get a trademark in the other country in order for the trademark to work in that country. I know that T-Mobile had an issue with that because it's in so many different countries. So I remember that case. But I think where it comes from is that a lot of people are just stealing these days. The other day, I had a post stolen from me. Somebody posted my post on Facebook. They reposted, they didn't share it. They wrote what I wrote. And then the comments that I had in there, they also put the comments as part of their post. Yeah, it was really crazy. And yeah, people just steal. So that's why they want you to have things trademarked.
Wow.
You're shocked. Yeah, they
Yeah.
do that.
I mean, I understand repurposing content,
Yeah.
but okay,
Literally word for word what I
like
wrote.
plagiarism 101.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. But how were you able to discover that they had done that? Did someone
They're
see
my
that?
Facebook friend.
Janelle, I was not ready. I was not ready for that. I was not ready.
So then I was like, okay, maybe she needs some coaching. So then I
Yes.
DM'd her and I was like, hey, girl, hey. And she didn't respond back to me because it was like the day. I gave it 2 days. I gave it 48 hours. Like maybe make it not seem so obvious. But yeah, she literally stole my post word for word.
Why? And even comment. That's the weird. Okay, so the importance of copyright trademark is because people are out here in these internet streets just straight stealing content. Now let's talk about, okay, with the fact that we are digital marketing strategies, and now the hot button topic is AI. What is your thoughts on this new entryway? Of course, AI has been here for a nice little minute, but they are aggressively pushing it. What are your thoughts as a digital marketing strategist?
I'm just a little concerned on how they're going to make sure that the AI that's produced is not being given to multiple people. So that's my first thought process on that. And the second thing is, okay, it's not going to get my tone of voice, right? My tone of voice is very different from Kristen's tone of voice. Everybody's tone of voice is different. So how do we use it to, okay, we're going to get these information, but let's cater it to our tone of voices. That's what I think, because I think it's a great time saver.
Okay, so for those who may be like, okay, now most people may be more familiar with the AI creating all those fabulous pictures, those futuristic mythical pictures.
Okay, yes.
But AI has also really been pushed in the copywriting, the speech writing, pretty much in the writing capacity. Of course,
right.
Universities are concerned about the fact that students will literally just have the AI do their term papers, their dissertations, that they are kind of combat that by more in-class writing projects. But when it comes to the fact that digital marketing, one reason I was asking too, will that tend to phase out people's dependency on proper coaching and strategy? They're like, oh, I can just ask the AI to write my copy for my website. What's your thought on that?
But how will they know what to tell the AI to write? Okay, write me a page, but who's your target audience? What are their pain points? What do they want to see? What do they need to buy from you? Can the AI create all of that for you? I don't think so. So no, they'll still need the strategy.
They'll still need the strategy. Okay. So I know we're getting to the wrap up and we are talking about strategies, and you provide marketing strategy sessions. I need to know more about this. What exactly is a marketing strategy session? What would I anticipate with Janelle?
So I send you a questionnaire. Okay, what are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish? And what time frame are you trying to accomplish this? And what have you done so far? So a lot of my clients have not figured out their target audience. They don't know their demographics. They don't know the psychographics. They don't know their customers' pain points. We're going to figure that out. And then we're going to map, okay, these are your goals, because I'm going to do a digital audit on you, right? I'm going to look at your website. I'm going to look at your social media. I'm going to look at everything and say, this is why you're not making money here. This is why you're not making money here. Yes. And these are the things that you need to do, because maybe you don't have a funnel set up. Maybe you don't have email marketing set up. There's so many different things, different layers. Maybe your sales page is not working properly and people don't test their stuff, right? They just create it and launch it. So I'm going to go in and look at everything and then give you a list of homework to do and tell you why these are the things that you need to do.
Okay. I had somebody who did a soft audit on my website and my social. And, she was like, well, okay, your personal, because I have multiples, okay, which I know some people like, you should not have multiple. But this is people, we've been online since 1998, okay? So give me a moment, okay? But I did notice, she said on my personal, I tend to put everything that's business. I put personal and business on my, but I leave my personal page a little like crickets. And from time to, now I'm not one of the persons, like if you go to a business page and they have not posted since like 1990 something. No, I may be like, oh yeah, let me go there and post something. It's 3 weeks later. But I posted all that information on but that's where I have the larger following. And it's challenging, Janelle, as you know, to get people to move from where they're accustomed to getting information to your personal, from personal to your business. How can you help us with that?
So start slowly. What I did was I hired a VA from another country where it's less cost, less money, and I got them to start DMing my followers. Hey, Janelle has a new page. She's going to be talking about this over here. She would love for you to follow her. As a thank you, she's giving you blah, and will start coming over.
So you get them with the freebie, you get them with the gift. Okay.
People always love an incentive, right? Or have a giveaway for everybody that comes over. I'm entering you into an Amazon gift card. Get an Amazon gift card for coming over.
Okay, so a marketing strategy with you is something that we all need, because I know that I'm suffering with the whole lead generation, the workflows, automation. These are words that I've had to learn, because I thought that I was just going to start helping people and realize, oh, you're creating a whole nother business and there's a whole industry that supports it. So how can we pretty much get all up in what you got going on? What do you have rolling out for 2023, Janelle?
Oh, everything. So right now I'm in beta for the Podcast to Wealth course that I'm creating. Later on in the year, I am launching Hustling Hotties University. It'll be at hustlinghotties.com, and anybody can set up a strategy session with me or a VIP day, and that's at my website, janellejones.com.
All right. Now let's talk about this podcast, because I was like, wait. I didn't know you had a podcast. What made you decide to get into podcasting as a business owner?
I love podcasting. I feel like it is the quickest and best way for me to reach my audience, and an audience that didn't know that I existed. It's a whole world out there for podcasters, and it's a great community. The podcasting community, everybody supports each other. So I really love it. I podcast, my show is the Janelle Show, and what we talk about is living a life that we desire through entrepreneurship. As women, as mothers, women feel kind of stuck not being able to, after they have kids, not being able to go and live their best lives. But that's not possible. That's possible. Being able to have fun is possible with kids, and that's what we talk about.
I know you do, because based on your bio, your website, your social, you travel extensively. Your children are world citizens. So give me an idea on how. I know after the breakup, you visited family abroad and went to Bali, but how did you decide to make travel part of your mothering?
I just absolutely love it. So my kids are homeschooled, and now they're world schooled. So they travel around the world and learn. And it has opened their eyes to so many things. My son, he's 7. He knows things that a typical 7-year-old, trust me, does not know. He speaks 2 languages, and he's working on Hindi. He does coding online. He just, the world is his oyster. He thinks that going to India on a whim for a wedding is a normal thing. He really does.
I saw that he has a birthday twin. Let's tell me about that birthday. He's January was it the 11th?
No, he's January 15th. He's Martin Luther King.
15. Okay.
Yes.
So tell me about his birthday trip.
Oh, yeah. So for his birthday, he was like, I want to go to California, I want to go to Mexico, and I want to go to South Carolina to see Daniel. Well, South Carolina was the cheapest of all of those. So I was like, we're going to South Carolina to see Daniel. Daniel is the little boy that he met when he was 3 years old. And they have celebrated their birthday every year together, at least within that week of their birthdays. They're about 2 days apart from each other, and they act exactly the same. They like the same toys. They just get on like 2 peas in a pod.
Wow. And the very fact that he understands that travel is something we can do. For oftentimes, that was like, hey, you have to save up and wait for retirement. First it was wait for retirement. That was the first thing to travel. And then it was, okay, let's work all year and have 1 week off. And now your generation is like, no, we're going to make travel our lifestyle. And now your son is like, hey, for my birthday, let's go to 3 different countries. I love it. I totally love it. Any last words you would like to share with us? So as we are entering into 2023, whether we have resolutions, goals, or aspirations, what does Janelle Jones want us to know for 2023?
Be consistent. Stick with whatever resolutions, goals, whatever it is. Don't be afraid to restart your year. I restart my year every month, literally. I restart my year every month. And what I do is I just say, okay, look, I'm giving myself grace. I'm going to get this done and I'm going to figure it out. So, hey, stick with it, be consistent, and go after your goals.
Well, thank you. This is Janelle Jones. Be sure to check her out on all her social and her website. And I'm really grateful that I had a chance to chat with an apple and a peach. Thank you so much for checking us out here on the Christie Taylor Show.